Thereafter, Jennifer Crumbley exchanged text messages about the incident with her son on that day, stating, quote, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught, end quote.
Something's wrong. So I'm like,
what was worrying everybody? There have been some ominous threats posted in recent days. Is that right?
yeah, that is right. It is. I've been hearing the threats too, and it's like, kids they play around and say, oh, we're gonna shoot up the school or this. You don't supposed to play around with that.
Right.
Like, this is serious. You can't do that. So I mean, like, it's a lot of stuff.
The morning of the shooting, the next day, Ethan Crumbley's teacher came upon a note on Ethan's desk, which alarmed her to the point that she took a picture of it on her cell phone. The note contained the following: a drawing of a semi-automatic handgun pointing at the words, quote, the thoughts won't stop, help me, end quote. James and Jennifer Crumbley were shown the drawing and were advised that they were required to get their son into counseling within 48 hours. James and Jennifer Crumbley resisted the idea of then leaving the school at that time, of their son leaving the school at that time. Instead, James and Jennifer Crumbley left the high school without their son. He was returned to the classroom. When the news of the active shooter at Oxford High School had been made public, Jennifer Crumbley texted to her son at 1:22 p.m., quote, Ethan, don't do it.
So let's talk about the hate that a lot of white people have here in Michigan. Meet Jennifer Crumbley, the mother of the mass shooter from Oxford High School yesterday, Ethan Crumbley. Now, I already knew much about her without even having to be told, because the MO is very similar here in Michigan when it comes to racism and racists and how it rears its ugly head. Let's take a look. Ethan's mother wrote to President Trump back in 2016 saying, my parents teach at a school where their kids come from illegal immigrant parents. Most of their parents are locked up. They don't care about learning and threatening to kill my mom for caring about their grades. Do you realize, Mr. Trump, that they get free tutors, free tablets from our government, and so they can succeed? She goes on to talk about how she used to be a Democrat and how things are just a struggle for her family. And so she's a Republican. Now, she is a realtor from Clarkston, Michigan, and if anyone knows much about Clarkston, it is one of the racist areas in Michigan. They have had tons of hate crimes, tons of issues with racism that they have literally swept under the rug numerous times. I recently joined a Clarkston parents Facebook group, and here are some of the things that these parents are concerned about. They are so concerned about critical race theory that this man took a photo of a book called Mr. Lincoln's Way that explains how some people experience racism, particularly Mr. Lincoln. Or what about this doctored photo that clearly is about LGBT? However,
calling all divine angels and divine ancestors.